Hello, welcome to Co-Creating with Cosmic Holly. I'm Holly. Today is the Astro Luna Tarot moon draw for the Aries Full Moon at 14 degrees 8 minutes Aries, happening on October 6th or 7th, depending on where you are in the world. And this is a time, the full moon is a time where we are experiencing some full awareness about something. This is a time of celebration. It's a time of commitment. It's when the opposites come together and they commit to create something beautiful, because the sun is in the opposite place in the sky. So the sun's at Libra, 14 minutes, 8 degrees, hence the full moon. It is a time of full flower. So if we're looking at our goals or our intentions from September 21st, the Virgo new moon that happened was also a solar eclipse. So we're still under the influence of that eclipse. We may have been seeing something in a different way, but not totally clear about what it was we were seeing. Now we're getting clarity. Now there's this full flower where we see what it is we're committing to, and we still have time to remove what it is what it is we don't want. This moon is also connected to the new moon in Aries that happened 18 months ago on April 8th, 2024. That was a total solar eclipse and a very potent time for change. So look back to what you were up to at that time to see what kind of clarity you may have now regarding what was going on during that solar eclipse in Aries. Change has been, it's been a very potent time for change. We have Pluto in Aquarius, which astrologers have been talking about now for a very long time. Our Aquarius energy in Pluto is energy of revolution and change, is the energy of the people. It is when we are at the first few degrees of Pluto, we start to see where we see where there are issues. Aquarius is an air sign. We're starting to see once again with, I'm just going to go mundane here for a minute, with the government shutdown. Our planes are having trouble. With like airports may have to start shutting down because there's no one to direct the planes. People are not going into work. But the thing is, like, Pluto is moving in retrograde right now, so we start to get more clarity on where corruption is. Pluto is is connected with the hell realms, and things that might be buried underground or just buried, things start to come to light. And it's in a trine with Uranus in Gemini. So both are air signs, and Gemini is communication, is like, what do I say, like transportation. So maybe we'll see more stuff with flight flight issues happening because they both air, and Gemini is communication. You might like the internet. So Aquarius is also connected with the internet, but like Gemini is like the story, you know, whereas Aquarius is like the people involved. So there are changes that are afoot. They're both retrograde. Uranus is retrograde too. So that energy is kind of like, it feels like right now it's sort of behind the scenes, but soon enough, Pluto is going to be going direct again, and we're going to start to see some shifts. So things are happening. A lot is happening, and I think the people are starting to wake up. Trine energy means that that the movement of the energy is a lot easier. So, you know, communication. Think about, and I was talking about this like a month or two ago, about using our words, right? The power of word to change things, the power of word as you know, spelling as spell casting. Words is magic, you know? So thinking about how you use your words and allowing those words to affect change. And how do those words affect your community? Gemini's community, and Aquarius is the people. So how are we as the people using our words? Incantations, our song, our music, our voices. Our voices matter. Our voices have power, especially when it's connected and getting a push of energy from Pluto. Okay, well, I didn't expect to talk about that all that much, but there you have it. Aries energy is, so we have this full moon happening in Aries. So it's opposing the Libra sun, and everyone goes, Libra is the sign of relationships, but Aries gets its identity through relating to other people. So Aries represents the self, but the self doesn't really have much meaning without relationship to the environment, to what's going on around them, to people. There's an energy that is creative and quick. Aries is about newness, so we may be getting clarity on new approaches on how to manifest our intentions, on how to deal with problems. Aries likes to, you know, nudge action. So there may be this feeling of like wanting movement to happen. And that actually is a real strength of Aries, because if you think of, say, the energy of Aries being springtime of plants pushing through the earth, like that takes a lot of effort. And so, you know, Aries energy doesn't wait around. Aries energy just it moves. So you may be feeling like you want movement to happen, or if you allow yourself to have some focus, and a nudge will happen. There's energy that's opening up, so that Aries energy wants movement. It's not going to sit around and allow inertia to happen. It fights against inertia. In fact, one of the words you could think of with Aries would be like heroic, right? A hero. They're heroic against, they put up a heroic battle against boredom, against lethargy, against cynicism, and you know, want engagement. There's a demand for engagement. Other words associated with the Aries moon is initiate, spark, enthuse, confront. There may be a stirring up energy because things feel a little bit like kind of like there's with there are, all the outer planets are in retrograde right now, so there may feel like there's not a lot of movement happening. So there could be this like just this wanting to just kind of stir things up. You may find yourself wanting to do that, or maybe taking a look at some situations in your life you're getting clarity with, and you're like, what would happen if I come at it from this angle, or if I throw this idea in there, because it doesn't seem like it's happening quickly enough. All right. I have had some cards jump out while I am talking with you. And, oh, the first card, oh, I love this. The first card that jumped out while I was discussing Aries is the Devil. And so we may be getting some clarity right now on, again, while in a bigger picture, on a more mundane level, there may be some clarity on corruption and just sort of some ugly underbelly of our culture. But on a personal level, the Devil has us confront the parts of ourselves that we just don't want to look at. It's the shadow. You know, I love this this card because the being that is chained to this dragon atop a flying butthole is androgynous, is sort of a hermaphrodite. And I think that's something that's been coming up in our culture, is the fact that we have both male and female aspects of ourselves, and then there are people who are just like, yeah, no, I'm beyond that. And when we get stuck in the label of what it is that we are, we get stuck in these labels, we're stuck. We're like, there's a chain, right? So I think it's really interesting that this is coming up right now, and also that the Devil wants us to look at the aspects of ourselves that we may find repulsive, or something that is, you might be like, have shame about. But, you know, we all, you know, we all have aspects of ourselves that are kind of gross, you know. I had been cat sitting for the last like week and a half, and every day these cats would bring in mice. And so in the morning, I would be cleaning up entrails off the floor. We all have them. So it's just a part of being alive. So we're going to get some clarity on something that is a shadow aspect of the self that we either have been avoiding or weren't even aware of. And it's going to come into focus during this full moon period, during this week. Also, it's pretty major because it's big. We have to look at the parts of ourselves that we feel like we want to run away from or are afraid of, or because those are the parts of us that are shackling us to some concept that, isn't even real. Okay. And it's a big deal because it's a major, something big is happening. I feel like because it's connected to the solar eclipse from 2 weeks ago, as well as the solar eclipse from 18 months ago, that there are major shifts that are happening, some major revelations. And if we look at the devil in ourselves, if we face our own devils, we're going to experience greater freedom. Then we have the Queen of Coins. And in this, she's reversed. But the Queen of Coins really goes well, I'd say, with the devil, because it's about our physicality. It's about sensuality. Reversed, the queen doesn't want to, we may be not wanting to look, but we need to. And the queen is the embodiment of the physical, material self, right? So we may be feeling a wake up to something we're unsatisfied with regarding our physical well-being, regarding our money, regarding our environment, maybe even regarding a physical relationship or something about our own bodies that needs to be looked at, our health, or our feelings of worthiness or attractiveness. This reversed situation is saying, yeah, I don't really want to look at it, but you don't want, like, but you must, right? Like, it's like, because by looking at it, you'll create this upright situation where it feels much better to be in your own skin, this is like, I don't want to be in my own skin. I don't want to look at my money. I don't want to look at, my cholesterol. I don't want to look at my relationship. I don't want to talk to my partner about what it is I need in order to feel, satisfied. However, it's coming up. It's coming up, whether you want to talk about it or not. And then after that, the next card that came up was the Hierophant. Like, what? So there is the Hierophant offers like a key to going, kind of getting out of this sort of self reality where you're uncomfortable, and sort of looking at the spiritual aspect of it through, like through scholarship, through, the Hierophant is a teacher, and there's a connectedness to, it's spiritual teaching, obviously. What I want to say about And this card is interesting too, because there is also a man there. Like here we have a man and a woman connected. Here we have a man and woman statues. And night and day. So there's like a balance between the sun and the moon, between it's like a cosmic balance. When we look at the shadow and we see how it's affecting how we manifest our physical reality, we want to strive for balance. We want to strive for a cosmic balance. We want to kind of go reach kind of beyond ourselves in order to find the balance. So you may need to talk to somebody, you know. And it's interesting, when I was thinking about the devil and then the queen was reversed, I was thinking, you know, this could be a therapist, it could be a teacher. You may need some help beyond just trying to straighten things out yourself. And then finally, we have the moon. So there is a deepening of the mystery, right? As we start to heal the shadow and see how that begins to shift how we manifest in the material world, and we look beyond ourselves, we take time to learn do a little bit of, you know, maybe there's something that's going on. I feel like with the queen reversed, I feel like some of the learning we may need to do has something to do with the way we feel about ourselves, or the way we connect our material reality with our spiritual reality that manifests physically. As we open up to maybe looking at the spiritual side of the shadow of our material world, we start to see the world in a new way. There's a new way where the world becomes a reflection. We start to, if we start to view the world as a reflection of what is happening within us, and then going into that reflection and seeing what the reality actually is, this is a real chance to open up to higher consciousness right now. I mean, direct connection with the moon, which I've been talking about for months and months and months, is a powerful way to navigate the ebbs and flows of your energy system, your physical reality, and just your way of being in the world, the ebbs and flows of your life. You look at your shadow and accept the good and the bad within yourself. You're able to look at your physical reality in a new way. You're able to go, okay, this is where I'm at. What do I need to do? And let yourself be in this, do whatever it takes to be okay, because the queen is, she is the embodiment of physicality. She's the embodiment of the material world, and she loves it. So we are alive and in a physical reality. Open the door to our spiritual connections and bring that to our physical world. And we begin to trust. We're going to come through this week trusting, having a deeper trust of intuition, of our own intuition. We may need to seek out the help of a therapist or a teacher, but ultimately we will begin to trust ourselves. It's just getting the footing. It might just be the nudge, that Aries nudge, that gets us to this, which is ultimately being able to tap into energy that seems like it's coming from deep within ourselves or almost outside of ourselves, but where it's deep, we're deeply connected to what's going on cosmically. And really one of the only ways, or one of the best ways to be able to do that is to accept ourselves completely, warts and all. Ultimately, this moon is asking us to completely love ourselves so that we can be effective in the world, in relating to others and relating to our environment, and being, being stewards for the world, being stewards for the planet. We live on a planet. We live in this physical world. The queen being reversed is asking us to, having been reversed with all of these three major arcana cards around her, is saying we need to embrace the world. We need to embrace that we live in this physical world, and that that it's here for us to honor and enjoy being here. But by enjoying being here, it's not a selfish thing. It's that it gives us the energy to be able to help others. It gives us the energy to be healthy and happy so that we can be effective in the things that really matter to us. Yeah. Anyway, have a wonderful week, and I hope that resonates with you, that, you know, we have a lot of energy happening, and making that change, moving toward actually loving being here, being in your own body, means looking at what you don't like, means maybe getting some help, and trusting your intuition. Have a great week. If you'd like to get a reading with me, go to holly-troy.com/tarot and you can book a reading with me. If you happen to be in the Hudson Valley, you can book a reading with me in person through medicamagica.com. And I can do a reading for you in this amazing apothecary herb tea shop that really has a lot of little surprises and secrets and great little powerful yummy things. Peace.